guitar enthusiasts, welcome to my Wish You Were Here guitar lesson where we are going to go over this amazing song. I'm going to show you a simplified way to play the intro. I'm also going to show you how to simply play through the song with a couple different strumming patterns. But first, let's start off with the chords we're going to be using throughout. So the majority of the song is going to use a C major chord. We're going to have a D major chord, a D chord, and an A minor chord. That is going to be the majority of the verse, but in our intro and interlude sections, we do have the addition of a couple extra chords. We have an E minor 7 chord as well as an A7 sus4 chord, and I'm going to show you how to play those to make the transitions a little bit easier. So let's start off with our intro where we're going to be playing a lot of individual notes, okay? And a lot of this is going to focus around E minor 7. So we're going to play, I like playing the bright stuck like glue chords, and you're going to see why. So I have my pinky on the bottom string 3rd fret. I have my 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and then I'm just making my E minor, which gives us a really bright sounding E minor 7, okay? Makes it very easy to switch over to G, okay? And then later when we go to our A7 sus4, it's a very, very easy transition. We're gonna be going from E minor 7 to G, and then E minor 7 to A7 sus4. Now, the reason that this might be helpful if you're not used to going between playing lead guitar and jumping back into chords, having that little anchor point can help you just speed up the process a bit. So just to show you briefly what we're going to be doing, so we have little licks just like this. Okay? So nice and easy. Okay, so we're going to be playing little lead lines, and then we're going to be strumming in between. All right, before we talk on the lead lines, let's talk about the strumming we're going to be doing for each chord. We're going to keep it very, very simple on this intro. All I want you to do, if I take that E minor 7 chord, all right, we're going to go down, 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 up. Now, if I count that, it's going to be 1, 3, 4, and. So it's going to be down, 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 up. 2, 3, ready, down, 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 up. Again, here we go. 2, ready, and. Okay, so that's what we're going to do when we get to each chord, because what we're going to do is we're going to be playing a little bit of a lead line, and then we're going to strum a chord, back to a little bit of a lead line, strum a chord, all right? And this fills it in very nicely. So let's talk about the first lick, which we are going to repeat throughout, very, very commonly found in music. We have our 2nd finger is going to start by playing almost like we're a G chord here. We're going to be playing the 3rd fret on the top string. Then we're going to be playing an open A string, 2nd fret on the A string, and then an open D string. Now, if you really listen to the record, you're going to hear what we call a hammer-on. It's going to sound like this. So it's 1 pick, but 2 notes. Okay, and if you're not used to playing hammer-ons, it can be a little bit tricky. I will tell you it's more about the speed than the strength. So you're playing the open note and then you're hammering, like I think hammering a nail. You're hammering onto the 2nd fret. It has a very distinct noise. Now, or a very distinct sound. If you're not good with hammer-ons, just pick the note. Nothing wrong with picking 2 notes, but I'll tell you, little tip, if you snap your finger and you go really slow, you won't get any sound. But if I go fast, I will get the snapping of my finger. Hammer-ons are very similar. If you're not going fast enough, you'll kill the note, okay? I'm going to play the hammer-on, but feel free to play the notes individually, all right? So again, the first note, 3rd fret on the top string, open, then 2nd fret on the A string, then open D string. And then once we play that open D string, it's right into an E minor chord, okay? So you'll notice that my lick falls right in between where the chord is. Okay, so that's our first lick. Okay, and then we're going to do our down, 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 up. Now, we're going to move our way into a G chord. We're going to leave the E minor chord down, and you'll see why in a second. So we're going to play an open G, then we're going to play the 2nd fret on the D string. Whoop. Okay, because my finger's already there, and then we're going to lift up the finger on the D string. Okay. Okay, and that open string is our G, okay? So we're kind of combining the lead with strumming. So once again, we've got the open G, the 2nd fret on the D string, and then the open D is going to be when we strum our G chord. So I put those two together, it's going to sound like this. Okay, and then it just repeats that again. We start off with the E minor lick, back into G. Now, we're going to change to our other chord that I mentioned, the A7 sus4, and we're going to be playing a little different of a lick going into that. So we're going to start off the same because we're going into E minor. So we're going to start off with this lick. Okay, keep that E minor down. We're going to start on the D string, okay? And it's going to be D string, lift up your finger, open, and then A string, and then lift up the finger. Okay, so when we lift up the finger, that's when we're going to be playing A7 sus4. So it's going to sound like this. Okay, so first one, E minor. Then back to E minor. And then back to that A7. And then we're going to end on G. And I'm just ending with a nice down, 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 up, down, 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 up. So if I put the whole thing together, all right, and there is a solo part that comes after that. We're not going to be going over the solo part in this lesson, but you would play through this. You would play through that entire section twice, and then you would end on the G chord, which will transition you into the song. So let's try it from the top, just at a very, very slow speed. So ready? 1, 2, here we go. Go. That is our intro section, which we will use throughout the song. We will use it on our little interlude on the little break, and then we will use it on our outro as well. But now let's move into the first verse. I'm going to show you one strumming pattern for this verse, and then I'm going to show you a different pattern for the second verse. And the reason why is because this song kind of builds over time. So I want to keep the strumming very simple in the beginning so that we can build it as we go. So after we play that G chord on the intro, we're going to hop into a C major chord, then a D chord, A minor, and G. All right? And I'm just going to keep the strumming pattern really, really simple here because this is not like a hardcore, heavy metal, like fast-paced rock song. It's nice even kilter. So the strumming I just want you to do is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and up. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and up. Down, 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 up, down, 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 up. All right, and that's what we're going to use on this verse, but we are going to change it up for the next verse, but I want to do a quick playthrough here. Just with that strumming pattern, we're going to be doing it once per chord. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and up. All right, so let's take it from the top of that verse, starting on the C chord. And if you need notes, the notes are over on my website, laurenbateman.com. You can go follow over there as well. So we got 1, 2, here we go. And so you think you can tell heaven from hell, blue skies from pain. Can you tell a green field from cold still rail, a smile from a veil? Do you think you could tell? Now on this G chord is where I would start picking up the strumming, because I think, if I remember correctly, in the record, I think this is where the drums kick in on the song. So we get into the next verse, which is, did they think you could trade your heroes for ghosts? So here, we're just going to double up what we're doing on the end of the pattern. So instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, and up, we're going to go 1, 2, and a 3, 4, and up. So it's going to be down, 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 up, down, 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 up. 1, 2, and a 3, 4, and a down, 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 up, down. On your own, ready? One more time. So just gonna add a little bit more of dynamics into that second verse. The chords are not changing. We have the same chord progression, C, D, A minor, G, okay, D, C, A minor, G, okay? And then we're gonna jump back into our little instrumental, okay? So let's take it from verse 1 here, just to show you how that change is gonna make it sound, and then we're gonna do a full playthrough. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take this from the second verse, let's use this strumming pattern, and then we'll do a full playthrough where we're gonna put everything together. So let's start at that second verse on our C chord, and we've got 1, 2, ready. Did they get you to trade your heroes for ghosts, hot ashes for trees, hot air for a cool breeze, cold comfort for change? And did you exchange a walk apart in the war, a lead role in a cage? Okay, and that's where we would jump right back in to our intro. So let's go in for a little playthrough on this. And remember, if I'm still going too fast for you, you can always use the settings cog to just slow me down a little bit and make it playable to the speed where you feel comfortable. Ready? 1, 2, 3. So you think you can tell heaven from hell, blue skies from pain? Can you follow green fields from a cold still rail, smile from a veil, Do you think you could tell? Do they get you to trade your heroes for ghosts, hot ashes for trees, hot air for a cool breeze, cold comfort for change? And did you exchange a walking part in the war for a lead role in a cage? Well, how I wish you were here. Oh, we're just two lost souls swimming in a fishbowl, year after year, running over the same old ground. What have we found? The same old fears. I wish you were here. So I want to point out, because I've been playing the guitar for a very long time and I still make mistakes, and I made a couple mistakes when I was doing that playthrough, particularly on the A7 sus4. I played one wrong note, and you'll notice I didn't stop the entire song because I made a mistake. If you make mistakes when you're playing a song, just keep playing through it. You'll learn more by playing through your mistakes than stopping the entire song and taking it from the beginning. Play through the mistakes. And if you're someone that has trouble, memorizing where the strings are, you'll see I wasn't really watching the strings while I was picking. I have a really great exercise over here for learning the strings and the distances between the strings on your guitar. So if you had difficulty with that in this lesson, definitely go check that lesson right over there.